And the families of the victims? The ones who deserve closure? She paused, not wanting to say the rest. But she had to. This man had fought considerable pain, maybe even excruciating pain, to come here, and now he was giving her a pass. At least, she thought he was. Robert Shaverstone's father? The Shaverstone boy is dead, and his father's as good as. Ramsay spoke in a calm, assessing tone Darcy recognized. It was a tone Bob used when he knew a client of the firm was about to be hauled before the IRS, and the meeting would go badly. Never takes his mouth off the whiskey bottle from morning till night. Would knowing that his son's killer, his son's mutilator was dead change that? I don't think so. Would it bring any of the victims back? Nope. Is the killer burning in the fires of hell for his crimes right now, suffering his own mutilations that will bleed for all of eternity? The Bible says he is. The Old Testament part of it, anyway, and since that's where our laws come from, it's good enough for me. Thanks for the coffee. I'll have to stop at every rest area between here and Augusta going back, but it was worth it. You make a good cup. Walking him to the door, Darcy realized she felt on the right side of the mirror for the first time since she had stumbled over that carton in the garage. It was good to know he had been close to being caught. That he hadn't been as smart as he'd assumed he was. Thank you for coming to visit, she said as he set his hat squarely on his head. She opened the door, letting in a breeze of cold air. She didn't mind. It felt good on her skin. Will I see you again? Nope. I'm done as of next week. Full retirement. Going to Florida. I won't be there long, according to my doctor. I'm sorry to hear th. He abruptly pulled her into his arms. They were thin, but sinewy and surprisingly strong. Darcy was startled but not frightened. The brim of his Homburg bumped her temple as he whispered in her ear. You did the right thing. And kissed her cheek. 20. He went slowly and carefully down the path, minding the ice. An old man's walk. He should really have a cane, Darcy thought. He was going around the front of his car, still looking down for ice patches, when she called his name. He turned back, bushy eyebrows raised. When my husband was a boy, He had a friend who was killed in an accident. Is that so? The words came out in a puff of winter white. Yes, Darcy said. You could look up what happened. It was very tragic, even though he wasn't a very nice boy, according to my husband. No? No. He was the sort of boy who harbors dangerous fantasies. His name was Brian Delahanty, but when they were kids, Bob called him BD. Ramsay stood by his car for several seconds, working it through. Then he nodded his head. That's very interesting. I might have a look at the stories about it on my computer. Or maybe not, it was all a long time ago. Thank you for the coffee.